Speaking of Mad Men and his diary, hello Bardo, it's wonderful that you can join me today.
Hello DJ Hawk, how have you been?
I have been so good. I am so honored that you came aboard and we're doing this interview. You have a lot of great things that you've been working on, and I think the world needs to hear it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You know, I gotta apologize to you and to you in front of all the world. I'm so sorry I missed your CD release party.
It was a good one. We had a good crowd and a pretty eclectic group of people for sure. Friends, family, lifelong fans, new fans. It was great. And I'd like to thank Nico and the boys too for opening up the show. They were awesome.
Oh, nice. See, it's okay though. It's okay once all this virus stuff goes away. Definitely going to see you play again.
For sure.
So, Bardo, for those that don't know about you, you've been a very big inspiration to me as far as, getting involved with the music community and supporting local independent artists. I remember that one of your bands was one of the first bands that I actually really enjoyed and started booking shows, and you played a lot of shows for me, and I want to thank you for that from the heart.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, so tell everybody a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in the music?
Well, wow, as long as I can remember, really. The story's pretty long, actually. Some of my first memories are family get-togethers. I basically come from a very musical family, and it was common that my uncles and cousins would get together and jam, for Easter, Christmas, or whatever. So I was always inspired by my family. They would play everything from, northern New Mexico music to oldies. In fact, I got into Creedence and Chuck Berry and stuff when I was a little kid, because it was what the Keels would play. So another memory I have when I was getting into music was being a kid, jumping on the bed with a broomstick and just jamming out to Van Halen or Def Leppard or something and pretending I was in concert. I've always been drawn to music, and I find that it's probably my most efficient way of communicating, really, and that's something I've learned over my life. And the story's long, like I say. I had one of those, what would you call, open mic night kind of talent show things that I did when I was in 4th grade. I remember playing the Rain song from Led Zeppelin, and that might have been my first taste of the crowd feedback, and just remembering man, this is cool. I want to do this the rest of my life, and so I got to play in bands at a very young age. Luckily for me, my first band was when I was 12, and we actually got to play in bars and stuff. In northern New Mexico, back in those days, I guess it was allowed. I don't know if 12-year-olds can play in bars nowadays, but it was a pretty cool experience. I've been in a band ever since, whether it's playing variety music at wedding bands, jazz bands, family bands. I got to be in a band with my brother and my nephew, Chope and Eric, and our drummer was Mike. We were called Malvado, and we did a lot of shows when I was a teenager. Another band I had was called Bad Obsession with my good friends Francisco Archuleta and Marcos Nunez. Those are some great experiences. Had another band with Francisco and another friend of mine, Armando Valerio, which is what's called Especial, and I think we might have stole that name from a tequila bottle, if I remember right. But anyways, even through college and everything, I've always played in a band, and I just love to perform for people. That's one of the things that, inspires me every day to get out of bed and do my best. So, like I say, it's been a lifelong journey.
That's wonderful. It's funny. I was thinking when you said that you were on your bed, playing with the broomstick. Were you in underoos, dude?
Probably. Maybe not, because it's usually with other cousins and stuff, you know. And
Right.
we're probably, you know, supposed to be dressed for sure, but it could have been like after watching Saturday morning cartoons or something. I don't know, you know. It's been so long ago, but yeah, it was. Those are good times, and I remember that very much.
You know, there's one thing when it comes down to being influenced, especially from your family members and stuff, it does put a big impact on your life and where you go as far as your life path and career. You know, you've done other things that are simply amazing. But right now, I want you to tell me a little bit about this song, The Maze, that's coming off of your first CD. Am I correct? With just the Bardo Trujillo project?
Yes. The Maze is an example of my willingness to explore into different styles of music. You know, I played heavy metal for a long time. I'm sure we'll reference my other band that I played with for years in the end, you know, a little bit later. But, you know, as I'm doing the solo project, one of the things I wanted to do was to expand into different musical genres. And I'm kind of an old soul. I should probably tell your listeners that, you know, I'm the 9th child in my family. So I grew up with all the old stuff, man, from like Creedence to Crosby, Stills and Nash, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all these different influences. So The Maze kind of has a very vintagey feel to it. I always wanted to do a song in a 6/8 time signature with a really slow tempo, a la some of the Zeppelin tunes, like Since I've Been Loving You or something like that. So this song was kind of influenced by wanting to do that genre of music, incorporate a little bit of jazz chords in there. And the song itself is about a friend of mine who was going through a really tough time in life, you know. It seemed like she couldn't catch a break. And so there was problems with family, love life, different things. And it just seemed like this was just perpetual, that it was never going to end, you know. And it's kind of like me giving advice to my friend, you know, you're going to make it through, you know, you just got to get through the maze. I know it seems like you can't find the end of this maze, but eventually if you keep at it, you're going to get through and things are going to get better. So that's pretty much what the song's about.
Wow. That explained my whole entire life. Oh my God, this sounds really amazing. Now, you know, one thing that I want everybody to be aware of is that you're also a teacher. And so you give back to the youth some of what you've learned, and it's so amazing. But before we go into that story, we're going to go into Bardo Trujillo's The Maze. So hold on tight, everybody. Here we go.